Hi students, hope everyone is fine and safe. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to my new video, and today's video is about another interesting concept in the subject analog and digital communication. We're going to see problems in delta modulation. So we're going to see important formulas in delta modulation and we're going to solve different problems in delta modulation. This is going to be very important concepts and surely you can expect problems in delta modulation. And before going to this problem, I have explained to you very clearly about what is delta modulation, what are the drawbacks of delta modulation in previous videos. Please go back and watch those videos of delta modulation so that you can understand the basic concepts of delta modulation, why it is called as 1 bit per sample modulation, and what are the drawbacks of delta modulation. All those things you can understand from those videos. So if you can watch those videos and come to this particular problem, so that you can definitely understand the problem very easily, right? And before going to this problems, we know that the drawbacks of delta modulation is slope overload error and granular noise error, right? And that happens because of constant step size of delta modulation, right? You can see this is the input signal and this is the approximated signal, right? This is the approximated signal, right? And this approximated signal will be constant. So if the input signal goes very high, sometimes the delta modulation, the staircase approximated signal cannot approximate this particular signal because of constant step size. That particular problem is called as slope overload error, right? And also if the input signal does not vary much, right? If there is no variation, but still the step size is constant, so the approximated signal will be vary. Even in that case, the difference will be very large. That is called as granular noise, right? This is very important to understand the problem. So I would recommend you people to go and watch the delta modulation video. I will give the link in the description so that you can easily understand what is that exact problem which is happening in delta modulation, right? So with this, we will start the problem where we'll see the important formulas. Coming to formulas, we know that already Nyquist rate. Nyquist rate is N is equal to 2W, where W is bandwidth. And we know the relationship between TS and FS, right? That is time period and frequency. And the sampling frequency, T is equal to 1 by Fs, or Fs is equal to 1 by Ts, right? And this is very important formula. These two formula is very important in delta modulation, where AM is less than or equal to del divided by 2 pi Fm Ts, right? Understand very importantly, this is for when there is no slope overload error, right? When there is no slope overload error. If the condition is given, there is slope overload error, then the formula can be written like this. In this condition, there will be slope overload error. In this condition, there will be slope overload error. Which means whenever there is the input signal is higher than this particular slope, right? Then there is quantization, there is slope overload error. If the input signal is lesser than this one, the slope, right? Then that is called as, then there is no slope overload error, right? That is what explained in this formula. And you can see signal to noise ratio, right? That can be written as this formula. This formula is very important. So only these two formulas we can going to use, and directly you're going to substitute the values of Fm, Ts, and then you're going to find out the slope overload error, right? So now we'll see the first problem where they've given, consider the sine wave of frequency Fm and amplitude AM and apply to a delta modulator with step size of del, right? Show that slope overload error will occur if this condition. So they have asked to derive this particular formula. I've already said this is an important formula where this is the condition where slope overload error will happen, right? So if slope overload error must happen, what does it mean? The input signal is very high compared to the approximated signal, compared to the step size, right? So that is what given here, right? So what we have to do, we have to find out the slope of the input signal, the slope of the input signal. So for slope overload error to happen, this slope of the input signal must be greater than the step size, right? And if we simplify that particular expression, we will obtain this one. So they have clearly given their sine wave, right? So we can take it as sine signal itself. Now we'll see how we can derive. So it's sine wave, so I'm taking it as am sine 2 pi fm of t. And to find out the maximum slope, right, we can use step size divided by sampling period. Step size divided by sampling period where del by ts, right? And the input signal, the slope overload distortion will happen if the input signal slope is greater than the slope of the delta modulator. So this is the slope of the delta modulator. Now we will determine the slope, that is slope of the input signal. We can write it as max d by dt of x of t, d by dt of x of t, right? So we know that what is x of t? X of t I am substituting here, right? So now we can understand very clearly slope overload error will happen if the input signal is greater than, the slope of the input signal is greater than the slope of the delta modulator. Now if you simplify this, right, if you differentiate it, I will get cos 2 pi fm of t, right? And then this one is same, right? And if you're going to, the max value, this normalizing it, so you will get am 2 pi fm of t, 2 pi fm, right? And t is come here, 2 pi fm, right? And from this we can able to obtain am is greater than del by 2 pi fm ts, right? So from this we are normalizing it and we are obtaining this particular. So this is what we want to derive, and this is the formula where we have to use for conditions when there is slope overload error. When there is slope overload error, when there is no slope overload error, we have to use this particular formula. Am is greater than or equal to. Right. Now, we'll see the next problem where you can see a delta modulator system is designed to operate at 5 times of Nyquist rate, right, for a signal with 3 kilohertz bandwidth. Determine the maximum amplitude of a 2 kilohertz sinusoid which is delta modulator, does not have slope overload error, right? And what is the quantization step size, right? We can easily derive what they have. We need to find out the maximum amplitude. What is maximum amplitude? We know that maximum amplitude is equal to del by 2 pi fm ts, 2 pi fm ts, correct? And they have already given the step size directly, right? And from here you can obtain the Nyquist rate, right? What is Nyquist rate? Nyquist rate is equal to 2W. So 2 into 3, that is 6 kilohertz, right? And they have given maximum amplitude FM as 2 kilohertz, right? And we have obtained all this value, Fs, FM, Ts and del. If you're going to apply that, then we will determine the maximum amplitude. Clear? We will use only two formulas in delta modulator. One is this slope overload formula, another one is signal to noise ratio formula. Right? Now you can see here, they have said does not have slope overload error. So we are using am is greater than del by 2 pi fm ts. Right? So this is the condition where slope error will happen, right? And this is the condition where it will not happen. Correct? And now W is equal to 3 kilohertz, where Nyquist rate is equal to W, as I said. And you can see the sampling frequency is given as 5 times of Nyquist rate. So 5 into the Nyquist rate, that is 30 kilohertz. And this is Fs. And from this we can able to obtain Ts, 1 by Fs. So now you see here we have obtained Fs value, Nyquist rate value, Ts value, right? And Fm is already given in the question itself, 2 kilohertz. And if you substitute this value, right, del by 2 pi fm ts, fm and ts alone you have to substitute. Instead of ts, I can also substitute 1 by fs, right? So you are obtaining, and you will obtain the values as 0.6 volts. It's direct substitution, that's all, right? First you have to understand what is the question, and you have to understand whether you have slope overload error or not slope overload error. Now we'll see another question. Now this question you can see here where they have given an input signal and they have given an optimum step size, right? And they have asked you to find out when k is equal to mv and also fs is equal to mv, does slope overload happen, right? They are asking you to find out the slope overload error. They have given the delta modulator. This is the delta modulator. They have given the input signal, right? Now from this input signal, you can directly obtain what is fs, correct? Fs is equal to this one, right? And this fs is obtained, we can able to obtain ts, right? And this from this we can able to obtain fm. We can able to obtain fm. Now you know what is FM value, what is TS value, right? And you know you need to find out the del value, right? Del value, right? And del value, uh, with that we can able to find out, they have given us K is equal to 4 ME volt, right? With that we can able to find out what is the amplitude, right? Now we'll see how we're going to derive this one. So you can see here, the question is slope overloader will happen, right? Does slope overload happen or not, right? Now we'll see the condition where a slope overload error will occur, right? We are taking slope overload error will occur, right? If slope overload will occur, AM is greater than del by 2 pi FM TS, right? And what is FM? How will you obtain FM value? We know that the M of T given, M of T is equal to 0.1 sine 2 pi into 10 to the power of 3 into T, right? Where A is equal to 0.1, correct? And now we need to find out FM. What is FM? FM is equal to 10 to the power of 3. You see here, FM we have obtained 10 to the power of 3. And FS we have already obtained from the question, right? You substitute this value. K value is nothing but the value which is given in the question itself, right? We have obtained, that is Q value is considering as K value here, right? And now you see here, K value substituted, FM value, FS value, you will obtain 0.0123. We know that A value is 0.1, right? And this 0.1 is greater than this one, right? Which means the input signal is greater than this one. So definitely there will be a slope overload error. There will be a slope overload error. Because we have already explained you, slope overload error will happen if the input signal is greater than the approximated signal. That is greater than the step size, right? So you can see here, the step size here, the step size of delta modulator is lesser than this one, right? Now what is the other condition they have given? They have asked you to find out K is equal to 60 ME volt, right? The same thing, FM value, TS value, you are obtaining here 0.19, whereas this is greater than 0.1. So in this condition, there will not happen slope overload. Slope overload error will not happen, right? So in these two conditions, we have obtained K is equal to 4 millivolt. Slope overload error will happen, and whereas in K is equal to 60 millivolts, slope overload error will not happen, right? This same very basic explanation about the step size and the slope overload error, right? All you're going to do is you're going to use this formula del by 2 pi FM TS. Instead of del, they have given K value directly, right? And now we'll see another important problem where this problem can be asked in 8 marks or even 10 mark question. A DM system is designed to operate at 3 times the Nyquist rate for a signal with 3 kHz bandwidth. The quantizing step size is 250 millivolt. Determine the maximum amplitude of a 1 kHz input sinusoid for which delta model does not have slope overload error, right? And the post SNR we have to calculate, right? So it's going to be a very simple question, but you need few steps that is very careful. We know that the maximum amplitude, right? That is, they have given FM as 1 kilohertz, FM as 1 kilohertz, right? And the bandwidth is given as 3 kilohertz. And now you see that we need to find out the Nyquist rate, correct? Before that, what is the formula we'll use? AM less than or equal to del by 2 pi FM TS, 2 pi FM TS. And similarly, we have formula for signal to noise ratio, right? So for here, you know what is FM. All we need is what is TS. Del value they have already given 250 millivolt, right? So now what we need to find out? We need to find out the TS value, right? The TS can also be written as 1 by Fs, correct? How will you write it? Nyquist rate is equal to 2 into FM. 2 into FM. What is 2 into FM? FM is 1 kilohertz, so it is 2, right? Nyquist rate. So 3 times the Nyquist rate. What is Fs? Fs is equal to 3 times the Nyquist rate. Nyquist rate is 2 kilohertz, right? So it will be 6 kilohertz. So we have obtained what is Fs. And now we know what is FM, right? So if you substitute this, we can able to obtain the AM value, right? And from then we can able to obtain the SNR, correct? Right? So you'll see now how we have solved this particular problem. You can see the bandwidth is 3 kilohertz, FM is 1 kilohertz given, Nyquist rate is 2 into FM, so 2 into 1 kilohertz, right? And then sampling frequency is 3 times the Nyquist rate, so you'll be obtaining 6 kilohertz. Del value they have already given, and TS is equal to 1 by Fs, which is 1 by 6000, this one, right? And no, does not happen, we will use AM del divided by 2 pi Fm TS. So by substituting the value of Fm and Fs value, we will obtain this particular value for AM. And signal to noise ratio, you know what is W, what is Fm, what is TS. This is the formula for signal to noise ratio. Everything is given, right? W, we know what is W, right? So that is given directly, and then 3000, and that is 3 kilohertz, that is directly given, and then we have already know what is Fm value, 1 kilohertz, right? And then we have obtained a TS value. So if substitute that, we will obtain the signal to noise ratio, right? This can be converted into a dB by using 10 log of, right? So now today what we have seen is, we have seen problems in delta modulation. We have seen 4 different problems. I believe this video will be very useful for you. Thank you, my dear students.